So, as some of you might know, my Mondays are my therapy days, and boy, does it take a lot out of me. It makes me absolutely tired, obviously to the point where I'm breaking out. It's a little bit stressful. Makes it to where the next day on Tuesdays it's a hair-free day for me, where I pretty much stay in my jammies and I kind of relax throughout the day. Well, the good thing about that is most people who have a normal 40-hour job that are out and about have to put on their makeup, put on their nice clothes, make sure their hair's done, make sure they're showered. Oh, thank you. And they have to go and be present at a job even when they feel at their lowest of lows. Now, I was thinking about it today, and yes, I seem more under the weather. Like, I am mentally and physically exhausted. My brain has been through war from my EMDR therapy yesterday. And if I were to have to try and function at a regular job and hope that I don't get fired because my brain has so much cloudiness from the exhaustion from my therapy, I might just get fired. Or they would send me home. So then what does it do to you when you lose a day of pay? It makes it to where you sit there and you worry. I'd have to say Americans, the first thing that they worry about before they go to bed each night is how they're going to make their bills, how they're going to make their house payment, how they're going to get their child their birthday gift or their Christmas gift, or those books that they need for junior high, or how to register them and where the money's going to come from, how they're going to get food on the table. That is the biggest number one worry, is financial stability for yourself, for your families, for your kids. Now, nowadays, and I remember back when I was a kid, I remember my parents putting together a huge college fund, where back then in the day, that was an actual thing. Now, nowadays, it's becoming more fewer and far between. And the sad thing is by the time the ones that are my age get to the point of Social Security, most likely it's not going to be anything left. Now, you may agree or disagree. Each is fine. But I started thinking about it today as I've been laying in my bed, allowing myself to take care of me, because I've never done that before. I have pushed myself to the limit where I feel like I have to get up, I have to present, I have to put on a happy face, I have to get my kids ready, I have to, get them from school, I have to make sure that I have dinner on the table. I mean, all of the different things that us busy people have to do on a daily basis, that rarely do we take time for us. Who even knows what a bath or a shower is anymore, right? Well, we're lucky if we get one. And I was thinking about, if I had a regular job, how would I do it with my husband's schedule? My husband's schedule is wacko. It's hard. It's tough. For the 14 years that we've been married, I've had to get used to the random times where he has had to just up and go out of town, or work a lot of extra hours, and I think about when we were getting to the point with our youngest being old enough to go to kindergarten. The couple years before this, I was thinking, how in the world am I ever going to get a job if I ever needed to get a job with his work schedule? I would be paying, all my money would go to daycare. Now, daycare, I hear from all my friends, is absolutely so expensive, to the point where they don't have very much left from their check. They're out there. I see my friends busting their butts, working late hours just to come home and not spend as much time with their family and their children. Some of my friends have 2 or 3 jobs each and still aren't making ends meet or able to pay off their financial debt. And these monthly credit card payments are strangling them and making them to where they can't breathe and function on a daily basis. I've seen some of my friends that have got divorced because financial crisis has been so bad in their marriage. It's made it to where the stress has become so unbearable, they can't figure out how to communicate and make it work. Now, it saddens me that this has to be something that completely takes over this world. And it's something that we have to worry about on a daily basis. Taxes get raised, gas gets raised, benefits get taken away, insurance gets higher. Some of us don't have insurance. I've been at those places. I've been at those times in my life where we didn't know where money was going to come from, or how we were going to make our next bill, or if we would ever be able to get into a home. And those type of things were depressing and super, super hard. This year has been such a life-changing year as we're coming at the end of December, and we think about all the things that we want to make for our New Year resolutions, the different things we want to do, the different goals that we want to set, the different mind frame that we want to have, how we want to be a better person. Some of us are not wanting to have that depressed life. Some of us are wanting to, lose weight or whatever it is. And for me, as I'm sitting here looking back at my whole entire year of 2018, it has not been an easy year. And out of all of these struggles that we've gone through this year with, getting a child back on track with her health, and the bills that continue to keep coming in even after a year of her going to the hospital over and over again. And, the time where winter time now is coming and my husband's hours slow down, so we don't make as much and it becomes tighter for us, and we have to learn to be more creative with our finances. I think about where I came to this job opportunity and the freedom of it. So I asked my friends, I'm like, my friends that do the business with me, I'm like, this came at the most wrong time. I'm going through some of the most emotional times of my life. How in the world can I go out and help other people if I feel like crap right now? Like, I'm tired and I'm feeling sometimes depressed. Sometimes that emotional state is so exhausting, I can barely even take care of my kids after some of these therapy sessions. And my friends say, out of any time, Lisa, when would you have wanted this business opportunity to come? Would there have been any better of a time for it to come for you? And I think about it and I'm like, you know what? I start counting my blessings, as my therapist has told me to do on a daily basis. It rewires your brain. You start writing positive things down on a daily basis, it rewires your brain. So as I'm thinking about this, as I'm giving time for myself and nothing else, I realize that through the times that I can't pull myself through these therapy sessions, I have a team now that is able to do so. It's almost like kind of being a boss with some employees, okay? And these employees become such good friends and close family that you learn to love them and they learn to love you, to the extent that if you might not have that support from family maybe at times, which I do and I'm grateful for, but if you don't have that, that's what they're there for. I have the freedom and the ability to be able to make how much I want to make or how little I want to make. I have the ability to put in as much as time as I want. I don't have to sit here and worry about getting off work at a certain time in order to be able to make it to picking my children up from school. If they have a concert at school, I don't have to worry about missing it because I know that I get to choose the time that I get to work. And then you have these other stay-at-home jobs, okay, which are great, but they don't have a lot of freedom. I looked into possibly joining some of these airline ones that I'm like, ooh, I'd be able to get free airlines and everything like that. Let me tell you this, they have some things that it isn't as great as it sounds. You don't just get that free airline. Some people get taxed on the free airlines that they get. And the odd hours, not to mention their seniority. So every single business out there has its quirks. And some of us are sitting here going like, how can I get all the things that I need with the business? Now, am I telling you that mine's the most perfect one out there? Am I telling you that it is super, super easy and you're never going to have any struggles or it's not going to be frustrating and hard? You want to know what the most hardest thing is with my business? Is some of the most closest people that know me the very, very most and best are the ones that don't believe in what I'm saying. And yet they're the ones that should be the ones that believe you the most, right? So that's, I would have to say, the most frustrating thing about my business. But the freedom coming so from is you never run out of people to help. There are so many people out there that financially need help that my type of line of work is joyful because you get to see lives changed, health-wise and financial-wise. And being able to not have to worry about if I run out of vacation time and now I can't go on vacation with my family. I get to choose when that vacation time is. I can retire myself at whatever age I want. I'm watching all my other friends out there working 40-hour jobs just to bring home a certain amount, when yet I could make that in a day. Now, I'm not here to brag or boast about any of these things, but I'm realizing, with me being disabled with exhaustion and being so tired mentally from my therapy yesterday, I realized, oh my gosh, I still have money coming in, but I don't have to sit here and worry about sick leave. I don't have to worry about taking vacation off. I don't have to worry about not being there for my kids. I can take a day for myself. I could take a week for myself. I could take 6 months for myself. If all I could ever do is a little bit each day, I still can bring financial stability for my family. And yes, it was a little bit unnerving for my husband at first because he's been the breadwinner for 14 years for our family. And now we're getting to the point where I might exceed what he makes. And we've had to have a talk about that because I'm like, listen here, I get paid for vacations. I just got back from a cruise that was paid for from my business and had the greatest time of my life with one of my best friends. And I got to come back and go on another trip that was paid for by my business within less than 24 hours of each vacation from each other. Disneyland and the Bahamas and Key West, and going to Florida. Then in June, I went to Florida. I've gone to St. George 4 times this year. Now, most people, and this was me just last year, not ever being able to go on vacations. It's not because my husband sucks or anything at making money. He does a fantastic job, but there's so limitations with the job. We only are given a certain amount of time for vacation, and once it's used, it's used. There's no getting anything, and if he takes time off, we don't get paid for it. It hurts us a few $100s a day, and that absolutely sucks. Then the raises. Don't get me wrong, you guys, my husband has a good job. I love his job. But when you have things like that, it makes it a little bit tougher to have the freedom of the type of business that I've learned has been super beneficial and I'm grateful for. Now let's go to the fact and idea of MLMs. Oh, that is a catcher for people. I might lose some views right now because of that word. Well, what in the world is an MLM? Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it a trapped box that you're put in where people are making money off of this person, off of this person, off of this person? Well, you may say that, and that's okay if you have that mind frame. I did too, until I got in a desperate place where my daughter needed the help from help. And then my mind changed from going from man-made medicine, it's all about that, there's no way of changing it, to natural supplements. And then again, my mind frame changed from, it's a pyramid scheme, it's an MLM. I'm not going to help anybody else make money off of what I'm buying from my friend when they haven't helped me. That's just retarded and ridiculous. And they're all going to screw me over. They're just in it for the money. Nobody cares about anybody but themselves. But you guys, where did we go in supporting smaller businesses? Smaller businesses that make it possible for people to stay home with their children. Does that mean that they're lazy and they sit on their butts and eat bonbons and watch TV all day? Well, maybe sometimes. But it's made it so that everyone, every single person out there in the world is available and able and has multiple opportunities to be able to make money. There is no job qualification. There's no certification. There's no education that has to be given in order to serve people and to be able to become financially stable while doing it. Now, I'm not here to do a sales pitch. I'm only here to share the blessings that I have been given, the freedom that I receive from being able to do a small business, to be able to say that I own it myself. Guess the amazing thing from it is my worst thing, okay? I went into business to try and do home decor, decorating people's homes, okay? I tried it a few times, and guess what ended up happening to me? I ended up burning myself because I am not good with figuring out finances. I don't know how to charge people. I end up feeling really, really bad because I might be charging them more. I might be charging them not enough. And if it's family, I want to give them a discount, but dang it, I gave them too much to where it ends up coming out of my pocket. So when I did these jobs of doing decor on my own, decorating people's homes, I was excited about my talent and how well I did. But then when I looked at my checkbook, I was like, oh no. I ended up for one thing going into the hole $500 out of my pocket. I don't get it. And it frustrated me because I wanted to continue doing my lifelong dream. Well, then the home that we're in, we ended up buying it because it has a mother-in-law apartment down in the basement. So it has the potential of finishing the kitchen. Everything's finished, but all it needs is like the appliances and cupboards. Well, my husband and I figured that this would be the perfect opportunity for me to be able to have my own salon in the basement. I could go to school for hair and nails. Well, here's the kicker. Because I didn't start, and I kick myself in the butt for this, because I didn't start when I was 17 in high school, we had that ability to be bused to different schools, to be able to get that education by the time we were out of school. Now I'm 32 years old and I've got 3 kids that are half grown. If I go to school now, I'm going to miss that opportunity of being able to watch them grow up. I'm going to have that extra stress. I might even be more ornery with my family because I have to go to school to be able to get a degree in something. There's another thing I wanted to try. I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to be a counselor. I knew from the experiences that I've gone through in life, I wanted to be able to help other people. Well, think of all these things. I get to do a lot of these things in the business I'm doing now, but without having to go get a degree in something. And I don't have to miss out on time of raising my kids. My kids get to come with me if I go to somebody's house to talk to them. My kids can lay in bed with me while I'm talking to somebody over a Zoom or a phone call over a text. Do I have to worry about getting up every day and having to be presentable and having to have that fake face on day in and day out and hoping and keeping my fingers crossed I'll bring that income in? No, I don't have to. But am I telling you that this job doesn't require work and time and effort? Every single job out there does. It requires effort and passion and belief. And as long as I have that, I'm successful in this business. Now, I'd have to say, going from an introvert to an extrovert is another thing I gained from this business. And for those of you who are introverts right now, that's going to terrify the crap out of you, I know. But the support that I have now, going through my therapy, I am able to have those awesome team friends, my job friends, my friends outside of my job, be able to support me and help me so that I can keep my business going even when I have to take a couple months off or a week off or whatever, and be able to still be financially strong and supported. So think about that. When you're thinking of how to provide for your family and you're missing out on time with your kids and you're missing out on you're having to pay for daycare and the stressors of never being able to have time off for vacation, or yours and your spouse's time frame with each other's jobs are not compatible with each other's, and you're both working so much you don't even get to spend time with each other. I get to spend all the time in the world that I want with my husband. I'm sitting in my car right now in the parking lot of Sonic, being able to work, even though I feel like trash today, wearing my sunglasses to cover how awful my face looks right now with my acne and the deep lines under my eyes from not getting the sleep I needed because I am mentally and emotionally exhausted. But I still find joy in doing these lives. I still find joy in talking to the people that follow me, the people that I inspire, and the new friends and family that I'm making. And I know that I'm doing good things. So I know that when I have those hard times, I have this job that is able to pick me up when I am having my biggest struggles. And that it's going to be there when I'm done being emotionally and physically drained from these therapies. It's going to be there for me to continue bringing in money for my family. I'm so grateful for it and so blessed. You want more information on how you can get the same things? Like I said, my most favorite quote ever is, stop being jealous of what others have and be brave enough to ask them how they got there. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good Tuesday, guys. See you later.